space is quite big. So big that we as human beings who is restricted to the rules of nature cannot even come close to comprehend something that literally defies its own rules. That's how big space is. Because of its massive size, it also bears quite a lot of possibilities. Worlds pure made out of diamond, stars the size of solar systems, and monsters who won't stop at anything. Makes you wonder every time you look up at the dark skies. Maybe there is a world out there that harbors even life. But we'll never get to know. Think about it. You're abducted to a planet you have no knowledge of. That nothing you have learned so far just doesn't make sense. Water goes out. The air is filled with particles that every time you breathe makes you feel like it raptures your lungs. The sun is red. All the colors around you have been diminished, lifeless. The dirt seems sandy. Also, there are footprints. But you have no clue if they're friendly. Right when you were thinking about this, there comes a sound from behind. You look and see a creature, a shape you can't even imagine, looking at you with eyes of curiosity. Maybe they are the ones that brought you here, or just a bystander, or a hungry wolf waiting for a chance to get their dinner. Now, what do? Do you run? Do you scream? Do you fight back? Or just face the horror of unknown? Welcome to space. In a world so strange, what can you do? This is why sometimes reality is often scarier than fantasy. When you realize the knowledge you possess is only valid on this tiny piece of the universe, you finally realize you're screwed. But that won't happen to us, right? I assume this is exactly what these munchkins have thought right before they got /TP God knows where that planet. Look how happy they are. Unbeknownst to them, they will have a front seat IMAX experience on the movie Gravity in real life. But before we get into more detail, we should start from the basics. How the hell did we end up here? The story starts with a flash forward. We're in space and have absolutely no clue what the heck is going on. We're shown a huge planet and in its orbit a spaceship. Then the camera pans to our character, desperate, panicked, and alone in this vast nothingness. We're given a false sense of hope, but her thrusters won't work so she can't reach the ship. Her breathing gets faster and faster, vision blurry, then we see a figure reaching out to her and cut! If you got wowed by this opening, you're going to have a good time with this series. If not, well, I guess this mystery space sci-fi series is not for you. But do not worry, there is still a lot of things this series provides aside from the mystery factor. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's see our characters, shall we? Oh yeah, there was 9 of them. Giving each and every one of them a paragraph worth of explanation would take a long time and probably bore you to hell since you're gonna get shown a lot of flashbacks. So I'm gonna TLDR them for you. First we have Kanata the Hedgehog. He's our main guy. Also, he has a lot of stupid lines. I think he would make a good Fate protagonist. Next, we have Arius.
I don't know if he's a genius or a moron.
The girl. She can remember the most insignificant thing, but can't remember some letters put together in proper order, or at all. Then we have Daddy from Oran Host Club. He's more into flowers now. We have Winston from Overwatch. It seems like he's on a secret mission. And then there's young Sasuke. I will sew your mouth if you ever sigh again. And then we have Zarya from Rule 34. It's good to see them try new things. If you can't put 2 to 2 together, don't search. Hitori is basically Oreimo's Kirino decided to do a Mercy cosplay for a convention. Funisha is her little adopted sister. Can't you tell? I mean, they look nothing alike.
They're the same picture.
She reminds me of Princess Luna for some reason, but can't really tell why. And me. Wait, what the hell? Oh, the Faceless girl, yeah. Hey, excuse me? My eyes are probably up here somewhere. Although I'm making it seem like there's nothing more to their characters, there is. The more you learn about them, the more you sympathize with their journey and their struggles. Even though some of them act out of character or just plain go bipolar sometimes, you're reminded that these people are actually teenagers and not some demigod. So it actually kind of makes sense they're stupid sometimes. So, this story. What is supposed to be a one-week camping adventure on planet Magpa turns into chaos. Since you know what is going to happen, you're at the edge of your seat. Is she gonna get yeeted out of the spaceship Among Us style? Nope. They land on the planet just fine. What? But the teacher shifting the gear on reverse and leaving them alone should give you an idea what's about to happen. A black hole appears out of nowhere. Whoa, someone slapped on the space object class. Zach will probably tell him what's up. Okay, Mr. 200 IQ disappointed us, but as long as they don't touch it, it should be fine, and they touch it. Attention, if your wormhole is doing this, you're dead. One by one, they get devoured by this unidentifiable, incomprehensible, Lovecraftian object and get teleported to God knows where. Fortunately, they find a spaceship just nearby, and after some friendship acrobatics, everybody is just fine. The rope is right there. Why aren't you using it? What was the point of this? They have the rope. They can just use it. Anyways, after everybody is safe and sound, they give out a sign of relief. But the reality of the situation hits them pretty quickly. The planet in front of them is not the planet they were supposed to be visiting. This is now Magpa. Now, with limited supply of food and water, they need to go back home, which is exactly 5,012 light years away from them. Plus, there is the mystery of the sphere as well. Also, later on they learn that whomever spit them there could possibly be still present. But thanks to Kanata giving people the push they needed, they wake up and create a plan to survive. In this huge universe, they decide to not wither away, but to push through. And so, our adventure begins. With every stop they make, they learn more about themselves and their bonds deepen. With every stop they make, you start to suspect everyone, and one by one, the mystery starts to unfold before your eyes. But hey, don't worry about the difficult stuff too much. You never know. While you were focused on something else, you might miss what is important. Just enjoy the ride with these kids, because they seem to be liking it. Music is important. No wait, let me rephrase that. Sound design is important. I don't care how much money you have poured into making the most magnificent seconds of hand-drawn Sakuga animation. If the sound design is not par with it, you're nothing but a pretty gift to me. What do you think people who spend thousands of dollars buying phantom cameras also spend hundreds just to make some tomato go? Because with pretty visuals, you also demand crispy audio, and I can prove that to you. That's 50 megatons of raw power right in your face, but it feels kinda empty, doesn't it? Now, on the audio side of things, I'm going to kindly ask you to lay down and close your eyes for a bit, alright? If you're in a position where you can't lay down, that's fine too. Just close your eyes and listen to this. That felt kinda personal, right? This is what those ear-shaped microphones are designed for, where your favorite e-girl likes to lick so every often. This is what happens when you properly place them and not just pick it up! Look, I don't know about you guys, but my head, it's quite stationary over my shoulders. It is not capable of doing this. Let me end this bit with that. So it fills me with joy when I see a 2-CD OST for a 12-episode anime. It is mostly digital, yes, but there's different genres of music over here. Some of my favorites are There's a lot of atmospheric pieces which fits right into the tone of what's going on the screen. The sound work, on the other hand, is, well, average. Swear to God, I heard this spaceship interior as effects like over 200 times now. But the mixing is alright, so you don't get a lot of high or mid tones. Voice acting, on the other hand, mwah! These are the industry's golden goose where you hear every so often on the famous works. Especially Kanata, Kitori, Charles, and Zack's voice acting is god tier. Also, although we don't get to hear a lot, but this girl is silky smooth. You'll get it when you watch it. The dialogue and the toning of the words just feel so natural. I know, F me, these are Japanese people. It's only natural for them to sound natural while speaking Japanese, duh. But there is a difference between acting a line and goddamn speaking it like how you do every time. Even if you don't understand Japanese, you could tell that there was some work put into making it feel natural. And I appreciate the Dutch. Thank you, voice directing team. In world of Kanata and Astra, we see a lot of different planets with different habitats. Some are lush, and some just looks lush. Look, I've spent a lot of time playing No Man's Sky to know that a planet's look can be really deceiving. You don't know what you got yourself into until you penetrate the atmosphere. And the colors vanish, you see weird structures, but there's no one who could have built them. In short, all hell breaks loose. In Kanata and Astra, every planet comes with its own set of problems. Some has sparse food, some has hostile creatures, and some has plants. You know what? Until I watched this show, when I saw a flower, I would normally go, oh, cute, nature. And all I see is monsters waiting for natural selection to take its course and give them power so they can cover the whole planet with vines and devour all humanity. Plants are scarier than I thought. So, go Team Reggie! Kill all the plants, please. I don't think oxygen regeneration is enough to justify this. If this is what they're going to evolve into, nuke him. When the mystery involving the journey gets unfolded by each episode, you realize that this was no mere coincidence where these kids ended up where they ended up. And what caused it was a lot more complex than you could have imagined it. To the point where you hit pause and go, wait, what? What now? But they themselves understand that fact and give you a TLDR, so you don't have to worry about that too much, I guess. The designs of the planets and their creatures are average at minimum, but the thoughts behind them were above that. It was fun learning how the ecosystems of the planets behaved. The character designs of our heroes was also nice, even though they inherit some generic attributes like, yeah, tsundere girl is blonde again. They felt somewhat original. I did not immediately go, wait, isn't that Asuna from やはり俺の高校は第二次世界大戦で壊されたが、その事実はタイムトラベラーである幼馴染だけに知られている。Holy shit. Look, if you think I'm being too harsh about this stuff, just look at some old Tomorrow's design. Yep, no sleeping today. But overall, what it showed within the time limit it had was adequately enjoyable. Heck, while this was being aired, I was so curious to see what happened next that I have bought all 5 of the volumes. In Japanese, by the way. You don't realize how good you have it with your translations until you're forced to read through this madness of an alphabet. Only other mangas that made me do it was Pansto and Domestic no Kanojo. And I don't think I need to explain why I have done so. If you have not watched the series but thinking of doing so, you can go to this timestamp to skip this section. If you have, or just want me to go see at it, I'm starting right now. So along this story, there was a lot of hints to indicate that there was some big picture play going on. That's why I said, don't focus on the difficult things too much. For example, they all talk in English. They never show the planet they're going back to. They look a lot like their parents for some reason. The fact that Phoenicia was adopted, so on and so forth. The series is constantly giving us hints. But we were also being constantly diverted from these facts because 1. The freaking sphere pops out of nowhere and somebody is trying to sabotage us. And 2. The kids never dwelled on these too much. The series went out of its way to give us some fake sense of relaxation with its wacky humor. It went from, oh shit, we almost died again, to, oh, cute, in a second. We never got to collect our thoughts. They never stop, they always freaking go at. So when we learn about them being clones, how they were reverse order 66th, and how the whole history of the goddamn world was a lie. Not gonna lie, you kinda get caught off guard. Now, since that's out of the way, allow me to speak from the heart for a second. Who the hell redesigned this sphere? In manga, it was just a white blob of mass destruction, but you guys went out of your way to make it look something more natural, disregarding the fact that they might have learned about this at school. So, these kids who live in space age have never ever heard about a black sphere that they might encounter while in space? You know what? Forget about them. You're telling me that Mr. 200 IQ over here, who has a piloting license, have never heard about them? This might look more natural, but even when someone like me sees it, I can tell. That is instant death. They're baffled in the manga because it looks nothing like what they have seen before. This is a black hole. This wave should have killed both of them. I don't think either you or this tiny, puny tree branch has enough power to hold against the goddamn tsunami. Oh god. It's just her name backwards. She is Russian, yes? She should have a different accent. Heck, even a different language even. But they communicate just fine. Can you imagine yourself talking this smoothly with a person 100 years ago using English you know right now? I can't even understand what Generation Alpha is talking about, and we only have 14 years between us. How the hell did it go this smoothly? I understand they're living in a utopia and all, that's not a problem, but one man was enough? You told us the whole government was corrupt, but it got fixed quite easily, huh? What was the point of revealing the truth again? A whole generation of people hit that so you can live peacefully. I mean, who benefits from this? Also, if it was real world and if the government were to be accused of such truth, it would not go this tame, I tell ya. Since it indicates that Kanata's book stopped the shit from hitting the fan, he must have a way with words, I guess. Well... I don't think so. Oh no, she named her after herself. Oh no. She named her after herself. What? All the nicknames are Japanese even though they're talking English. You can overdose yourself with antidote as well, just say. Also, my dude, I think you should get those eyes checked. How the hell did you not see bright yellow fruits on brown background? You should thank those plants for giving them to you because you're goddamn blind. Just saying, if this guy were to be the killer, they were fucked. Why would you do that? Why would you punch it? How's that gonna stop that? The remote is right there. Okay, that space reference. I get it now. I guess that was everything. Okay, moving on. First of all, this was supposed to be a shorter review, but I guess after watching the show for the third time, some things got bundled up inside. By all means, even though I punched every living out of this series throughout this review, I really enjoyed watching it for the third time. It at least tries to be original with the space theme. Because as Lord of Animation spoken, oh he Almighty has forbid from any anime that is in space to like robots. Therefore, thee who wrote this blasphemy has my gratitude. At this point in sci-fi, you mentioned space once, and Gundams suddenly rain out of the sky. So I appreciate the fact that this is not that. I tried to search more into this anime by checking the commentary that was included in the Blu-ray version, but Japan being Japan, rather than putting someone that worked on the scenes, or the writer himself, they put Hosaya Yoshimasa, Shimazaki Nobunaga, Minasi Inori, whom voiced these people respectively. I mean, they're great. They talk about their stories with the crew, like how the crew felt like Ocean's 11. Which I agree, how the directing on the lines were freer, like rather than having been told how the lines were going to be read, they were given the reasoning behind the actions of the characters so they had more creative control over it. But I'm going to be honest with you, with all due respect, maybe if you're commenting over something, the content of what you're saying should be about the thing that we're being shown, and not some random stuff. Just saying.
Hello?
Is this on? Oh, great. Guys, I just realized the 12th episode has also commentary in it. The cast is different. Well, I mean, the only person who's different is Takeuchi Shunsuke, who voiced Zack. But it's actually a commentary and not some BS or talking about stuff. But my point still stands. It's better, but my point still stands, okay? It's about the whole goddamn industry. Oh, well, whatever. Carry on. If there's something that's worth over writing or something, I'll write it in the comment section or just the description. Okay? Fine, bye. This series reminds me a lot of No Man's Sky. Not just because they name animals and planets with bad names and the ship kind of reminds me of the default ship in the game and they're trying to go somewhere far, far away, but rather how it tried to do something new with the genre. Even though the ending is happy-go-lucky rather than realistic, even though the characters lack some basic human psychology, even though some stuff are left unexplained, it still has the soul of something great. That's probably why it won the Seiun Award, and also the reason why I gave it a 9 out of 10. Now, cut the lights and look up in the dark sky, for they might be traveling using the lanterns that is called stars. On the next video, I'm going to be doing some weird shit. Is it gonna worth the amount of sanity I am going to be depositing to the depths of hell? Well, the jury is out on that one. Please do subscribe and like the video and stay healthy. See you on the next one.